I don't know why I keep turning off the recording. I don't mean to do that. I guess I could just piece these things together later. But what I mean to do is to switch cameras. For whatever reason, is not happening here. Let's see. Well, as long as I got the mic on. Nope, no camera now. Let's see. Nope, nope. Oh, there we go. Nope. That's so weird. Oh, there I am on that camera. Now I got this camera. I don't want that camera. I want this camera. But I'm not getting that camera. Why am I getting that camera? I seem to just be stuck on this one camera only. There we go. Okay. Back over here. Back there. And back there like that. Fine. Whatever. Who cares? All right. So we're on the JB Rambo show again. This is the third time I keep accidentally turning off the recording because I'm trying to switch cameras. I'm still getting myself familiar with all my little gadgets and everything over here. One of the hardest parts about for me has, having a podcast or trying to start one up is trying to figure out all the hardware and what's working and what isn't working. So you got hardware and you got software. All the software is obviously on my computer here, and then you got all the hardware such as cameras and the mixer and all the other the microphones and all this other good stuff. So anyway, it's been a journey for me to actually get to this point, putting on the podcast and actually taking it serious. I have now put together quite a few videos on YouTube where I have been vocally giving my opinions about certain types of things. Because I've had some small amounts of success with getting my life in order. And why is that important to me? And why would I want to share it on the internet? Well, that's kind of simple question to answer. And that is because I feel that I've had quite a bit of life experience in my 45 years on this planet with screwing up so much and just having all the kinds of problems that people have in their regular daily lives, especially, what men probably go through. And I have been able to overcome most of those things. The one thing I'm still trying to work on is getting my income to a level that I want it to be so that I could be completely the one supporting my family. I now have a pretty good job now, working out in Beverly Hills. I was off for 4 months looking for work because I got fired from my last job. Basically, I did it to myself. I just wasn't applying myself. I had made a lot of good changes during my time at my last job, such as getting off the sauce, quitting the tobacco products, and getting rid of the weed and all that kind of stuff. But the real changes really came last April. We are now in February, the end of February 2024. And last April in 23, that was the last time I had any alcohol or drugs or any of that kind of stuff. But even before those things happened, I had already made some pretty significant changes in my life, like going back to school. 10 years ago, I went back to school finally and finished school up and made a lot of good changes. I started doing jiu-jitsu. I'm a brown belt and, hopefully someday in the next, could be a few months, it could be a few years, by the time I get my black belt. There's really no way to say. I'm not the person in charge of that, and that's not something that I really concern myself with. I already believe in my mind and in my heart and soul that I'm a badass. I'm a G. You want to come down and wrestle with me, you come down, and I'll give you a good run for your money, no doubt about it. That being said, well, how did I get there? And how have I gotten to where I am today, where I'm operating at one of the highest levels that I've ever operated at? And I can say that with a straight face because I am literally operating at the highest level that I have ever been able to operate in my own personal life, my own personal journey. Does that mean that my best is going to be better than your best? No, I don't know you and you don't know me. Some of you might know me, but most of you don't. We don't really need to compare with each other. I don't need to compare with you. I know that I have got myself to the best level, operating level, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, parentally, husbandly, sonly, best I've ever been. And I'm going to tell you how I did that, but let me tell you why I did that. Because now the reason why I did this and why at my middle-aged self has decided that he's going to level up and raise the bar on himself is because I believe that I owe it to society to be the best man I can be. I owe it to society to be the best father I could be. Why? Why do I owe society to be a good dad? Because one day my kids are going to be out into the real world. And how they behave and conduct themselves out in the real world is going to have a direct impact on the world. It may affect one of your children someday. There's some kid out there every single day who does something atrocious, hurts another human being, robs somebody, steals a car, does whatever he does. There's young boys being arrested and thrown in jail every single day. And why is that happening? And those people, and they hurt somebody. Somebody on the other end is victimized or gets hurt. And we could, at a macro level or a micro level, I don't know, put some of the blame on how that child was raised or the lack thereof. There's fathers who are absent, who don't sit down with their young boys and say, hey, son, I've noticed you've been behaving a certain kind of way. And you know what? I don't like it. I don't like the way you're behaving, son, and I'm going to spank you with my belt. I'm going to tell you I love you, but I'm going to put you in your place and tell you that if you don't shape up one day, you're going to be a menace to society. And we have plenty of those young boys out there who are menaces to society. And we also have all kinds of boys out there. Boys who are not measuring up to their full potentials. Men who are not out there measuring up to their full potential. People just like me. Grown men who are not realizing their full potential, not even making an effort. And that's not something that we don't know about ourselves personally when we're not making that effort, right? Not making the effort to be the best you can be is something that we think about on a regular basis. I think most men sit on their beds at night and think to themselves, man, I am not being the man I know I can be. I know I can do more. But for like many of us, we don't know how. We know we need discipline or self-discipline, but we don't know how to get it. We know we need to hold ourselves accountable, or that somebody needs to hold us accountable by someone, but we're not being held accountable. Now, there's so many things out there where we lack as men. Like I mentioned earlier, being good fathers. How about being good husbands? How about being good workers? People, good employees or good business owners or good partners, good pastors, good preachers, good doctors, whatever it is that you are, good lawyer, whatever it is that you do. There's a lot of men out there that don't raise the bar on themselves. Either they don't know they need to raise the bar, or they don't know how to raise the bar, or they don't want to raise the bar. They don't see the benefit in raising the bar. They don't see the benefit in being a good husband. They don't see the benefit of being a good father. Many times, and I've been guilty of this, where I think to myself, I just want to get my kids to 18 years old, get them out of the house. I could be done with it. I've been that guy. That's the type of attitude I had with my oldest children. So raising the bar, leveling yourself up, those are types of things that men need to be told. I hear it all the time. Oh, I just want to live my life. Don't judge me. Oh, I don't want to hear what you have to say about what I need to do to self-discipline myself. Who are you to tell me what I need to do or don't do? Well, let me tell you something. Men need to be told what they're doing wrong and where they fall short. That is my opinion. My opinion is that a father needs to tell his son, a friend needs to be honest with another friend, a preacher needs to be honest with his congregation about how they need to behave and how they need to act. I've been to a lot of churches, for example, where the preachers are giving these soft messages about how, God is love, and if you're just getting in with your sensitive side and and just, don't do anything to rock the boat, and just be accepting of other people, and blah blah blah, but never once telling people that the way they're living is against God's word, or that the way they're living is wrong. The reason why you're depressed and sad is because you're living outside the way you were meant to live. No one is telling anybody anything. And now we got a society that's, in my opinion, falling apart. When I first met my wife, for example, my wife used to tell me things. Yeah, society's, it wants weak men. It's men are weak and blah, 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 blah. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? Men are weak. And I would start defending men, not realizing that she was right. It took me a couple years to realize it, but my wife was right. Society is trying to raise weak men. We've gone to the point where we live in a society now where men don't even know what bathroom to use. They're literally don't know where we are. I got school systems that are teaching children nothing, where other than how this nonstop indoctrination about inclusivity and how we need to be accepting of this and that, and all this emotional brainwashing and damage that we're doing to kids, trying to convince them that they could be anything they want. They could be a giraffe if they want. I got a child now who goes to school, who's 9 years old, doesn't even know math, basic math. And I was looking at this, my child, saying to myself, holy crap, the system has failed I'm failing my child, because I let my child, and I trusted my child to the system. And the system, we're one generation, guys. We're one generation from a society that is completely stupid, ignorant, doesn't have the education to keep society going. And what's going to happen, I don't know, because I'm not an expert. But if I had to guess, we're going to be in a society where that just doesn't have the people that it needs to keep society running, and society is going to fall apart. We're going to end up doing what we always do, which is turning to war. We're going to turn to war. We're going to lose the beautiful country that our forefathers and our ancestors have built, and we're going to lose it because no one seems to care and nobody seems to want to do anything. Well, I can't do anything about all of that, but I could tell you in this show, we could talk about things about how to man up and how to do something. Get out of this slump you're in. Get out of this crybaby, soft mentality, this attitude that you've built. And I'm talking about me too, guys. But this attitude that we've built where we just don't want to even try anymore as a people. And we got to get past that. We have to get past this. I'm not even going to try stuff. All right, so before I go, because I don't have all day, this is my first episode and I got to get ready for work in a bit. But I could talk a few minutes about, how do we start to build habits? Or do we even need to build habits? Well, let me tell you something. The first thing that I think all men and women need to do is figure out whether or not, what is your value system? What is it that you value? What is it that you're willing to fight for? Do you have a fight in you at all? I could tell you that I have lived my life, most of my life, with thinking I wasn't even in a fight. Not knowing the whole time I was in a fight, only I wasn't fighting back. I wasn't throwing any punches. I was taking hits, but I was so clueless to what was going on that I didn't even realize I was being hit. But I am being hit. And so one of the first things that I had to do was realize is, what am I willing to fight for? What is it that matters to me that I am willing to actually get up on a camera and start talking about it and sharing it with other people? Well, it's a couple of things. And it started off with my marriage, but it ended up, and being a father, but it ended up being something little more than that, where my focal point was just off, just a little bit. It isn't that family's not important. It's not that my marriage isn't important. It's critical. My marriage, how I conduct myself in my marriage and how I conduct myself with my children, critical. Can't take that away. But there was something missing. And the first thing I needed, and didn't realize that I needed, was I had to get right and centered with my Creator, my Lord and Savior, my God, who is Jesus Christ, who is everyone's God, whether they like it or not. But I had to decide whether or not being obedient to God, whether or not that was important, whether or not that was something that I was going to fight for, whether or not I was going to fight for my salvation. I used to be that guy who used to think, screw God. I don't want nothing to do with him. Why did he create evil? Oh, why did he create death? Why does he let people get hurt? Why did he do this to me? Why is it that my life is so horrible? Why am I so depressed and sad and I can't get my life together? Why didn't all the things that I wanted with my life ever happen? Why did A, B, and C happen when I wanted X, Y, and Z to happen? Why did he allow that? And I had to realize that it wasn't God at all. It was me. God gave me the beautiful gift of life. And I had to understand that we all sin. We all sin and fall short. We all sin and fall short of the glory of God. Every single one of us. The first thing that I had to realize is that I had the need for salvation. God allowed me to do things my own way, and my way sucked. Now, is that everybody? Man, there's people out there, they don't feel they need God. They got their lives pretty under control. They know where they're going. They don't need him, don't want him. And that's fine. Guess what? I'm not talking to you. Okay, I'm talking to you, the guy or girl who doesn't have themselves under control, who wants to have some change in their lives, who wants to be better, who wants to start living a life that's worth living. Now, in order to live a life that's worth living, and what I'm starting to realize is that it's okay to have ambition. Ambition is good. You're God's creation. He wants you to go out and do things. He wants you to go out and better yourself. He wants you to go out and have success, whether that be success with your family, whether that be success financially, whatever it is. He wants you to do it. And this is just my opinion, but he just wants you to give him the glory. Why? Because all things come through him. Everything is by his grace, by his goodness. And he's willing to create all this for you. God created all this for me. Everything that I have, he gave me the gift of life. He literally breathed life into me. It's a gift. And I had treated it, and many of us treat it like it was a burden. Oh, God, you gave me life. What am I supposed to do with this, God? Why am I alive, God? Have you ever had that? You ever seen somebody like that? Oh, why did I have to be born? Like, what is that about? I'm pretty sure I've said that in my lifetime at some point many years ago. I was probably one of those jerks who said something like that. Oh, why did I have to be born? What a gift that we've been given. What an amazing gift of life that God has given us. And what do? We throw it back in his face. He gave us, if you live in America, not only did he give you life, but he put you in a place on this earth, on this planet that he created, and put you somewhere on it so that you can prosper. Never do we ever wake up and think, thank God I wasn't born over here or over there. Because if I was born over here or over there, I might be getting shot at right now. Or I might be some poor girl who wakes up every morning to something horrible happening to her. You know? Or a little boy who wakes up and being abused and, having to do this over here. Picking up rocks or mining metals so that you could have your darn cell phone. Whatever it is. Waking up with a bad attitude. Ungrateful. Yeah, I've been that guy. I have been that guy who wakes up every single day and has no gratitude for the gift of life that I've been given. Well, no more. No more of that. And I'm going to share this with you that I do recognize that I was given a gift. An amazing gift of life. God just keeps showering me with blessing after blessing after blessing. And for years, I never even thanked him for it. Well, I'm thanking him now. He gave me this amazing, handsome body and face. He made me beautiful. Man, I was born perfect. Before drugs and alcohol, man, I was such a cute kid. I was an amazing looking kid. He gives me beautiful kids, gave me a beautiful, amazing wife that I work hard to deserve every single day. He gave jujitsu. He gave mankind jujitsu, and he put me in a time in history in a country that has jujitsu. That is a gift. A lot of people don't realize this, but jujitsu is a gift from God. Yes, the Gracie family developed it, and they worked it out. They discovered it, but they did not create it. And I'll say that to any one of those Gracies. You did not create jiu-jitsu. God created jiu-jitsu. Most people don't realize it, but God was a wrestler. He says he says in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, towards the end, in chapter 32, I think it is, that he wrestled with Jacob all night. God was a grappler. God is a grappler because he's past, present, and future. He is a wrestler. God created jiu-jitsu. He created grappling, submissions, all that. He created the human body. All the Gracies did was discover it. And why do I bring that up? I bring that up because it's important to give thanks in all things, to have gratitude in every single thing that we have in life. We have so much in life. And one of the first steps, one of the foundations of getting your shit together, pardon my language, Lord, but getting your stuff together is waking up every morning and having gratitude and a sense of reverence, a sense of thankfulness and thoughtfulness for your God who allowed you to wake up in the morning. Matter of fact, get on your knees when you wake up. Get on your knees and say, thank you, God. It takes 2 seconds. Just get on your knees and say, thank you, Father. Thank you for everything that you've given me. Thank you for another day at life. Thank you for my beautiful wife. Thank you for my bratty kids. Thank you for the amazing mom and dad you gave me. Whatever. Thank you. If you got a nice fancy car outside, thank him for your car. You got a nice car to get to work, thank him for the car. Thank him. Thank him. Thank him. Start there with having a new mental attitude, because that's where it's going to start. You want to see change in your life? You want to see something that's going to make a difference in your life? You want to wake up and be a badass like me? Then you're going to have to change your mindset. You're going to have to change your attitude. You want to have courage? You want to have strength? You want people to respect you? You want to have an opinion? You want to have more in life? You want to realize your full potential? Start with your attitude. Start right there. Is that the only thing you need? No. But start right there. That's how you're going to start. And then you could start on your journey for this thing called discipline. Because without it, there's not going to be any change. Forget the money. Forget all this other stuff. Forget that. I'm not even there yet with the money thing. I don't care about the money. I do want more money, but I seem to grasp something here. And all the guys, they talk about it. All the guys that already made it. All the guys that are already there. You know, the Rogans of the world, or the Zig Ziglars of the world, or the whoever, right? They're already there. But they all got something that they talk about in common, and that's discipline. Disciplining your life. So how are you going to get there? So, well, let's start there, because I'm only telling you how I'm doing it, how I'm getting the discipline. Oh, and believe me, I'm getting it. And I'm going to get mine. And the way I'm getting it is I started with a new attitude, a thankfulness for my God upstairs, the man who makes it all happen. You ever had a coach when you were a kid, maybe a soccer coach, a football coach or something, baseball coach, and you just thought to yourself, you know what? If my coach asked me to murder somebody, I would do it. I just have so much respect and admiration for my coach that if he told me to break that guy's legs right there, I'm going to do it. Have you ever thought of somebody like that? Like, have you ever thought about someone that way? Like, have you had a coach or a boss or somebody in your life where they just such an amazing person, and you were like, you know what? I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna kill somebody for him, or something like that. Well, that's the type of admiration I have for God right now. I think God's such an awesome dude. He's such an awesome, awesome God. And I'm just so thankful for all the things that he's done for me that I've decided I'm going to kill it in this life. In this lifetime, I'm going to kill it. I'm not going to sit by, idly by, blowing and wasting all the gifts that he's given me. I'm just going to stop wasting the time that I have on this planet, which isn't even much. In the grand scheme of things, if you're lucky to live 70 years, not even a lot of time. We sleep for a third of it. We're sleeping for a third of it, and we're working for another third. You got not a lot of time every day. Stop wasting it. Stop wasting it. You want to do that? You want to stop wasting your time? You want to make improvements in your life? You want to have the things you want to have? Well, it's going to have to start somewhere. It's going to have to start with discipline. In order to start up a new attitude, with discipline, you got to start a new attitude. You want to have discipline? New attitude. Wake up grateful. Wake up ready to go. Wake up excited. Start little. You know, I run every single morning. The last 22 days, I've been running every morning 3.5 miles. I wake up at 3:50 in the morning. I get myself ready. It takes about 5 minutes. And then I make my little video in the morning, my little inspirational video. I record about anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes. Not much. And then I edit it real quick. I don't even really edit it. I just chop it up so I could put it on my Instagram story. That takes me about 30 minutes because I'm an idiot. It takes me a while to do that because I got to find the exact spot that I made the last one and all that nonsense. And then I post it. And then I go run. It's freezing cold outside. It's wintertime. I don't want to do it. I don't want to wake up. I don't want to run. I don't want to record the video. But I do it. And I do it like little baby steps. When I get up in the morning, when my alarm clock goes off, I just hop up because I know already that I'm going to wake up. Right now, I feel like, I don't want to wake up. I just want to go back to sleep. I just want to go to sleep. I don't want to get up. I just want to stay right here. But I don't. I kick my leg up and I pull myself up and I start walking around, go to the bathroom. I start putting on my clothes. I start taking all the mocos out of my eye, which I still have some in my eye, by the way, because it's only about 6:30 right, 6:40 right now in the morning. Because I've already done all this stuff. I've been up for almost 3 hours already. While you're still sleeping right now, I've already been up 3 hours. And I get all my stuff, and then when I start running, I take baby steps. I just start running real slow. Real slow. I'm not taking big strides. Like I'm tired. I'm cold. And as soon as I get about a block to the end of the block and I make my first turn, I start feeling a little better. And I just keep going. And then by the time I get to mile number 3, actually around mile number 2, I feel pretty good. I'm running pretty fast. I mean, fast for me, an old 210-pound guy. I'm running pretty good. And then by the time I'm getting to, my last quarter mile, my last half a mile, I'm tired. But I don't stop. I never stop the whole time. Every day, the last 22 days, I never stop. I just take small little steps. As long as I don't stop, I just keep going. And that's how I'm going to play it in this game of life. It's how I'm going to get from A to Z. It's how I'm going to go from being broke to being not broke. Or how I'm going to go from, being out of shape to being in shape. It's going to be little step by little step, little step. Little step, little step, little step. And just making it every single day, getting a little further down the road. Get a little further. This is the first day I'm doing the podcast, right? This is the first day I'm going to do it consistently every day. Every morning I'm going to do this podcast. Rain or shine, I don't care. Just like when I went running, when it was raining hard, I didn't care. I still went. I was like, man, I'm going to go. I'm going to David Goggins this thing right now. I'm going to beast mode, right? I'm not going to make no excuses. I'm going to make this video. My wife was kind enough to let me have the room right now because my studio is in the room. She was kind enough to let me have it. And that's amazing. My phone stopped recording because I must have ran out of battery. I was hoping to, have some stuff to film. I'm not going to have anything good to film and show. Usually I don't start getting good until I don't start getting warmed up until about 20 minutes. But what's the point? The point is, guys, is that we gotta make some changes. And we can't make changes unless we change people. And we can't change people unless people realize that they need to change. And then once they realize they need to change, we got to tell them how. We got to tell people how, because you know what? I'm tired of my own weaknesses, and I'm tired of seeing the weaknesses in others, because it's messing up society. We're ruining it for our kids. And we got to do something about that. And it's got to start with us. It's got to start with us individually, being better people. I could go on and on and on. I mean, there's just so much, but you know what? It's already been half an hour, and I gotta get out of here, and I'm boring you guys. So let's just end it. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and end this session for today. But please subscribe to my channel, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Maybe someday I'll have some prizes and some cool little stuff. Get the heck out of here. I ain't gonna have none of that. All right. This is a show about how to better yourself. All right. I got all the bells and whistles. We're doing it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So thank you so much. If you made it all the way to here, thank you. I really appreciate you. And please get excited about this, because I'm pretty excited. All right, guys. All right, man. I'm out.